Hi guys, are you guys ready for a new reading wrap up? I know I am. I'm so excited because this month I read 22 books and 4 short stories, which is a new record for me. I've never read that much. I think my high score was 18 up until this month, and I don't know how I did, especially during a school month. Like when I counted them all up today, I was shocked. So let's just go through them and talk about them. Not waste any more time because it's gonna be a long video, I think. Okay, so the, what is going on? Sorry, I'm trying a new format. I don't know how it works, but okay, we're gonna start with the fantasy genre. The first book that I read that was fantasy was Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick, which is the perfect book to read for October. It's very spooky. It's an urban fantasy book about a high schooler named Nora. She gets assigned a new lab partner, and his name is Patch, and he's like this mysterious bad boy. It's bad boy, good girl trope. And then soon after that happened, like some creepy stuff happening to her. Like she gets stalked, she gets attacked, a bunch of stuff happens. So it's good for the spooky season. And I know that description was really brief, but don't read the blurb. Like, it gives away way too much, just trust me. It reveals something that happens, like, after 200 pages. So just don't read the blurb. It takes away from the mystery. And, like, was this book cliche? Yes. But ask me if I care. I don't. I loved every second of this. This was a 5-star read. The characters, Patch and Nora, I loved both of them. Patch is, like, flirtatious and mysterious, and Nora is smart and snarky, and I love their banter, I love their dynamic, and the plot twists in this were so good. Like, there were two big ones, and they both got me. I was shook. I was shook. And the next one I read was A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. Is it Mass? I don't know. This is an ACOTAR novella about the Inner Circle and Feyre's family, and they're like celebrating the solstice, which is like Christmas Eve. Um, a lot of people say this book wasn't necessary, and like while I agree, I'm still giving this 5 stars because even though it had like no plot, it's okay because it was still fun. Like this book is just everyone being happy, with the exception of Nesta and Tamlin, and everyone was just enjoying each other's presence, and it was so wholesome and cute. And like after everything they went through in Echo War, they deserve this. Okay, like some people said it was boring. I thought it was delightful. Like I've grown to love these characters so much, and seeing them happy made me happy. So I don't really care that the plot was non-existent. And then I read City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Mortal Instruments series, which I want to continue, but kind of don't. I don't know. This is an urban fantasy about a girl named Clary who witnesses a murder at a club, and she's the only one who can see the victim and the group of killers. And then after that, she gets thrown into this shadow hunter world, which is like demon huntery. And there's a bunch of supernatural creatures like there's vampires, werewolves, raveners, demons. Yeah, I don't know. That was a bad description, but I don't really know. I read this during the beginning of the month, so I don't know. I'm bad at describing. And like it was good, but I just didn't love it. It was a 4 star. I just felt weirdly disconnected from this, and I couldn't pinpoint why. And because like I like the characters, the world was exciting, but I just couldn't get fully immersed in it, like I usually do with books. And then I went on Goodreads and I was reading other reviews, and someone said that this felt like a series of events and not like a cohesive whole. And that's exactly how I felt. I just couldn't articulate it. So thank you to that reviewer for validating how I felt. Like that's why I can't give it 5 stars. Like it just didn't feel like cohesive. So I don't know. I do want to continue the series. Hopefully the other books aren't like that, but if the other I'm gonna try like the first 3, and if they're all like that, I might quit. And then I read Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and this was so good. This is a YA high fantasy with a romantic subplot. It's about this girl named Alina who finds out she has powers after a near-death experience. She's a sun summoner, and that's very valuable because her powers can be used to defeat the Fold, which is where the Volcra reside. The Volcra are like these dangerous creatures that have been terrorizing everyone for years. So she gets taken to this little palace to be trained, so she's like up to the task to like defeat the Fold. And I love this so much. Like it took me by surprise because I've heard a lot of people saying this one is boring and that Six of Crows is the best book, but I loved every second of it. Like I was not bored once. I love the fantasy elements. They're very unique, like the Volcra. That's something I've never read about before. I think she might have just made it up. But like so it was like exciting because it was all new. And I liked how different it was from other fantasies. And I love the romance. It's childhood best friends lovers and unrequited love. And oh my gosh, the declaration of feelings toward the end was everything. Like I literally copied the quote down because it was so good. The romance really shined in the last third of the book. I was giggling and squealing and everything. It was just so cute. And I also like the villain. He's like very intriguing. Can't say too much on him because you don't know that they're a villain at first. So I'm just not gonna say anymore on that. And the plot twists were all really good. They all kind of come at once. Like it's all within like 5 pages. All these plot twists, like boom, boom, boom. And I was shook. I was shook while I was reading all that. Like I feel like I could talk about this book all day. I loved it so much. I loved everything. 5 stars, obviously. I haven't got a chance to get the second book yet, but next month I'll definitely read it. And I feel like I need to watch Star now because I'm obsessed with this universe already, and it's only book 1. And then I forgot I included this. I want to show the interior designing of Shadow and Bone because it's stunning. Like, look how intricate and beautiful this is. It's so pretty. And then I also included a picture of the map because I'm obsessed with it. I just feel like it looks so good. I love it. And it also helped me imagine the Volcra. Like, there, do you see where the Unsea is? Like, those are the Volcra creatures. That helped me imagine it because I was imagining them differently until I saw this. So, yeah, it's just, I love it. And then I read What's About a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, which is also 5-star. I swear I don't go around just giving everything 5 stars, but like the fantasy books I read this month were genuinely so amazing and I loved them, with the exception of City of Bones, which I just liked. So this one is about a fate known as the Prince of Hearts, whose kiss is deadly to everyone except his one true love, which the concept of that, I love it. I love it so much. And okay, the heroine, her name is Evangeline, and she seeks him out because the man she loves suddenly started ignoring her, and he's about to marry her sister, and she thinks he's cursed and wants the Prince of Hearts to make sure the marriage doesn't happen. So that's how the story begins, but the plot moves pretty far away from that by the end, and you're just kind of along for the ride, I guess. um, and I love this. Like, Stephanie Garber's writing is so beautiful, and I love the main characters, like Evangeline. She's so sweet and friendly, and I just love her so much. She's like an absolute gem. I love her. And Jax, he's like this mean anti-hero with a hidden agenda. And I have an issue because I like that. I love mean men. And then I read the second book in the series, which is The Ballad of Never After. This one comes after What's About a Broken Heart. Obviously, you can't read this as a standalone. I thought this one was better than the first book because there's more romance. There's more Jackson Evangeline scenes. This was this was a 5 stars. Obviously, if the other one was, I like this one better. This was a 5 stars. The ending though, oh my gosh, it wrecked me. There was so much angst, and I can't wait to get my hands on the third book to see how everything goes down. I think I'm gonna get it maybe next month. I hope so. At least I really want to read it because with that cliffhanger, oh my gosh, I need the next book. And then I read Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Finally caved to hype and read this. This is about Violet, who is entering a war college, and there's like quadrants. There's a scribe quadrant, healer quadrant, and rider quadrant, and then there's a fourth one. I forgot what it was, but there's a fourth one, I think. And Violet is planning on entering the scribe quadrant, but then her mother, like last minute, she forced her into the Dragon Rider quadrant because she's like, no, daughter of mine is gonna be a scribe or something. So Violet is like really unprepared. She hasn't been training for this, and it's like very high stakes because lots of riders end up dying. And we just like watch her adapt to persevere in this very dangerous quadrant. Which one thing I don't understand is like how they're willing to let so many kids die in the Rider quadrant because like they're in the middle of a war. So why are they so willing to let all these kids die for no reason? Like students were literally killing each other and there were like no repercussions. And you'd think they'd be more like vigilant about that because they need more people on their side, obviously. Oh, and the romance in here, it was a lot of fun. It was enemies to lovers, which I love. Did I say this was a 5-star yet? I forgot. Well, it was. It was a 5-star. I love the fantasy boarding school. I love fantasy boarding school settings. Like something about it does it for me. I loved it in Harry Potter and I loved it here. I love the dragons, Taryn especially. I love Violet. She's like very determined and strong, and I really liked her. I will say though that there's like a lot of melodrama surrounding her and her best friend. His name is Dane, and he like kind of has a crush on her. It was just very annoying because like their conversations were all the same. Like he's super overprotective and overbearing, and he doesn't like see her full potential. He underestimates her is what I'm trying to say. And like we got that. Like I got it within the first 2 interactions, but it was like they kept bringing him in. They kept having the same conversations, and it was just kind of repetitive. Like I got it the first 2 times that he was like that. I didn't need it to happen over and over again. Like we were just hit over the head with it, if that makes sense. I explained that kind of bad, but yeah, I just felt like all that was annoying and repetitive. And also the plot twists were kind of disappointing. Like everyone talked about them being so good, so I was excited, but I predicted like most of them. So that was a bummer. But I still really, really, really enjoyed this. And I actually ended up crying at the end. If you know what happens, let's just say that. Okay, and then romance. We're getting into the romance genre. So the first one I read was Powerless by Elsie Silver. Elsie Silver. And the power this book has over me, unmatched. Like, this is the third book in the Chestnut Spring series, and it's a love story about a prima ballerina and a hockey player. and they're best friends who have been pining over each other, but the other doesn't know. It's small town, childhood friends, lovers, unrequited love, second chance, and it's so good. Like it's so obvious that they belong together and that they love each other so much, but the other person doesn't see it. It's just the angst. Oh my gosh, it's driving me crazy. And guys, he has a tattoo of a ballerina on his I think it was his torso. If I'm remembering, I keep stumbling because I'm talking so fast. Sorry. If I'm remembering correctly, though, it was on his torso, and it's in honor of her. And he got it years before they even got together. And I just thought that was so cute. It was just so crazy to me. Like after I read this, I was thinking about it. The fact that I didn't want to see a Friends to Lovers book, let alone read one, and now I'm so obsessed with that trope. And it's because of books like this. I loved it. And then I read Reckless by Elsie Suffer, which is the next book in the Chestnut Spring series. So it follows Theo, who's a bull rider, and Winter, who's a doctor, and they have a one-night stand, and she ends up getting pregnant. And so the tropes, accidental pregnancy, obviously, neighbors, reverse carpet sunshine. I gave this 4 stars. I liked it, but I feel like a lot of it was just based on loss and physical attraction. Like there was a lot of you trying describing each other's bodies, and so I didn't really like that. And yeah, surprisingly, I didn't like the surprise pregnancy. I usually hate that trope, but the parenting scenes with Vivi were really cute, so I actually didn't mind it at all. And then I read Hopeless by Leslie Silver, which is the 5th and final book in the Chestnut Spring series. This one follows Bo and Bailey. Her family is like the most infamous in town, and people won't hire her because she's from that family. They assume she's like her brothers. She's a troublemaker. But she really needs a job because she wants to leave Chestnut Springs. She needs money. And Bo comes from the most respected family in the town, so he offers to be her fake fiance because he's like, if you have my last name, you'll get hired. So it's like fake engagement, small town edition. I didn't go into this without any expectations, and it ended up being my favorite of the entire series. I gave it 5 stars. I love this so much. It was so much fun. Especially, I love Bailey. She was so funny and so fun, and I just loved her so much. And the smut in this book was better than in all the other books. It was really good. I was not expecting all that filthy talk from the small town hero. Bo is so innocent. He seems so innocent in the other books, and then we got here, and no, he's not. The third act breakup though was really stupid. But other than that, like I ate this book up. I loved it so much. And then I read Better Than the Movies by Liv Pater, which is a coming of age high school romance about 2 neighbors who have been enemies since childhood. Liz needs his help to make this other guy fall in love with her, so he'll ask her to prom. And so they're like spending a lot of time together because she wants his help. And Liz starts to realize that her initial thoughts about Wes might have been a little misguided. This book is a little cringy and a lot cute. I loved it so much. It had me smiling so big. 5 stars. I think the second book I think there's gonna be a second book about them. That's like about them in college. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like I heard that before, and I'm so excited because it was just so good, and I can't wait to read it. And then I read the short stories that go along with it. I read more than just these 3, but I just got lazy to put them in. They were all so cute. They're all 5 stars. We get West's point of view, and this man is so in love. It's precious. My favorite one was the college road trip one. The banter in that one, incredible, incredible. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. And I want more of them. And then I read Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire, and this book was a disaster. There was nothing beautiful about it, unfortunately. This is a college romance, but it felt more like a high school romance with the way they acted. So it's about a womanizer and his best friend, and they fall in love. And I hated every second of it. It was 1 star. I DNF'd actually at like 42 or 43%. I don't know, but I just couldn't handle it anymore. I know some people are like, don't write DNFs because you can't judge it when you didn't read the whole thing, but like, I'm not one who DNFs lightly. Like, a book has to be absolutely terrible for me to DNF, and this book was. Like, I read 9 whole chapters, and I could not come up with a single thing that I liked about it. Any redeeming things about it. Like, I hated it. My biggest problem with it was the girl on girl hate. Like, there was so much of it, and it was just so disgusting. Like, every girl that wasn't the main character, her best friend, was a slut, a skank, a bimbo. She was STD infested, to quote. What was her face? I even forgot her name. Abby? Was it Abby? That's what I feel like it was, but I don't know. The Travis, the hero, he got significantly less hate for sleeping around than the women in this book did, and I hate double standards. So, and also more on Travis, he did not respect the women he slept with at all, and it was just so gross. Like he literally I don't remember if it was the first scene or one of the first scenes he's in. It wasn't the first scene actually, no, but it was like early on. A girl is like on his lap, and he literally throws her to the floor. So that's all you need to know about him. I don't even want to waste any more time about this because I hated it and it doesn't deserve another second of my time or yours. So moving on. I read The Happily Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. Do not be fooled by this cute cover like I was because this book is actually really sad and angsty. It's about a famous musician and I don't know, non-celebrity girl he fell in love with. And it discusses the hardships of stardom, and I really like this. It was a 4-star read. It's not a 5-star because the first half was a little boring for me, and the ending did feel really abrupt, but I loved the second half so much. There was a lot of drama, a lot of angst, and I love AC books, so I ate it up. And then I read Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This is a college sports romance between a hockey player and a figure skater who have to share a practice rink. It's frenemies to lovers kind of. And this book I would recommend this to all my found family girlies, my smut lover girlies. There's a lot of smut, a whole lot of it. Um, I like this book. I gave 4 stars. I love the main characters and the side characters. JJ in particular, he was my favorite, and I want to book on him so badly. And I like the positive therapy portrayal. The reason it's not a 5 star is because I feel like there's a lot of unnecessary information about the side characters. Like, we don't need to know what city and state the side characters are from and like what their family dynamic is. And like every time a new character would come in, we'd get that information. It was just like, okay, I don't need that. Like, I don't need to know that JJ is from Nebraska, even though I love him. I'll wait until his book to learn all the little details about his life. Like, it just wasn't necessary, I feel like. And I also didn't like the way that every single character's outfit was described in depth every single time they walked into a room. Like, it's not that serious. Just say they're wearing a white tee and be done with it. I don't need to know the brand, the material, what country it came from, when it was made. Like, it was just so much detail in the clothing, and it was just like, okay, okay, move on. Like, I'd understand if she was like super into fashion, but she really wasn't. So, and then I read Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This is the same series. Um, this one follows Russ and Aurora, who have a one-night stand, and they think they're not going to see each other again. But the surprise, they're working at the same summer camp all summer long. I actually like this more than Icebreaker, which I'm pretty sure is an unpopular opinion, but I love the characters so much. Like, I like them more than Anastasia and Nathan. Like, Russ, he's so soft and sweet, and he's also a reader. Love. And Aurora is so funny and adorable. I love them. I love them. And also the summer camp setting, I love. I love camp. Like, it's just so fun. It's so, I don't know, so fun. So I really like that. I had a really good time with this. 5 stars. And then I read Addicted for Now, which is the third book in the Addicted series following Lillian Lowe. He's a recovering alcoholic and she's a sex addict. This book focuses on them fighting their addictions. It was a 5 star read. I'm gonna be honest. At first, I was just waiting for Connor and Rose books because, like, every time they'd be on there, I would just be paying attention to them. And when they weren't there, I was just waiting for their breadcrumbs because I love them so much. And I just kept thinking about the fact that after this book, I'd get to read theirs. So I was just focused on them and I wasn't even focused on Lillian Lowe. But, like, okay, after I got more into the story, I did actually start focusing on who the book was about. I started focusing on Lillian Lowe, but yeah, it took me a bit because I was just obsessed with Connor and Rose and their dynamic. But I love this. I love the found family theme. I love Connor and Rose, obviously. They are my everything. I like Lillian Lowe, but they are honestly nothing compared to Connor and Rose. I'm sorry. I still love this book, so I ate it up right up. And I ate up all their works, every single one. So, and then I read Kiss the Sky by Becca and Krista Ritchie. So this is Connor and Rose's book. It comes after Addicted for Now. Their academic rivals first, by the way. So if you like that trope, definitely recommend this. I love this book so much. It's one of my favorite books ever. I gave it infinite stars, guys, because 5 stars is just not good enough. It's just not. Like, multiple times, this book made me cry more than 5 times. Like, I lost count. And it wasn't even during the sad scenes, it was during the happy scenes, because I was just crying because I loved the book so much, and I was so grateful to get the chance to read it. Like, I have never done this. I've never cried so much happily over a book. But I just love this couple so much. And I just love that they're so perfect for each other. And literally, even after I read the book, like, I was going over 5 star reviews that other people wrote, and I was just revisiting like all the great stuff, and I started crying again because I was like, I love them so much, and I'm sad that it's over. Like, I never want this book to end. They have me in a permanent chokehold. Like, while I was reading this, I was thinking about them nonstop. Like, I went to bed thinking about them, like revisiting my favorite scenes to make myself fall asleep. And when I woke up, I was thinking about them. I thought about them while driving, while eating, while at work, I meant, while in class. Like, literally thinking about them all day. And even now, after I finished the book, I'm still thinking about them constantly. Like, I love them. No other couple has ever been so perfect. Like, their intellectual games and their banter, I'm obsessed. And the fan family theme, this month, oh my gosh, amazing. It's just, like I said, it's not good enough. to be rated like 5 stars. Infinite stars, guys. I will never get over this book or this couple. I don't even know what to say. I feel like I should say more because I'm obsessed. I love this book so much. I can't even put it into words. I cannot articulate this book. Like, I returned it to the library this morning because it was a library book, and I literally, for the first time ever, I was like, should I just steal a library book? Like, I did not want to let this go. And I was writing down quotes while I was reading, and I had like 50. I had 50 quotes, not like 50. I literally counted them, and there was 50, and they were lengthy too. Like, I might as well have copied the entire book and put it in my notes app because that's basically what I did. But I regret nothing because I love them so much, and I want to remember them forever, and I never want to forget anything. And then I read The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Abby Waxman. I had high hopes for this because I read the blurb, and it was giving kind of enemies lovers, like academic rivals lovers, but it was not that, actually. Not at all. And it's marked as a romance on Goodreads, but there's like not much romance, to be honest. It's not very romantic. It takes a while to get to the romance, and when we do, it's pretty boring, to be honest. The couple did absolutely nothing for me. I did like the big bookish presence, though. Lots of books everywhere. Everyone's a reader. So that was fun, but overall 3 stars. It wasn't bad, but I just wasn't too into it at all. So, and then I actually read some nonfiction, and by some I mean one book. But I usually don't do that, so be proud of me. So I read My Two Elaines by Martin J. Schreiber and Kathy Britton Butcher. I don't know if I pronounced those right, but that's okay. This is an autobiography. It's about Martin is like telling the story of his wife who developed Alzheimer's and how he dealt with being a caregiver for her and the struggles that come with being a full-time caregiver. And this book was really touching and sad. It made me sob within the first 5 pages. So it was really good. It had some really good information, some good tips. So I definitely recommend it if you know someone who's struggling with Alzheimer's. Yeah. And then I read Mystery. Oh, these are not showing up right. Like, the exclamation point was supposed to be after mystery, not underneath it. I don't know why that's happening, but we're just gonna move on. This is kind of ugly to look at. It's really bothering me, to be honest, but I read Halloween Party by Agatha Christie because I wanted to get in this spooky mood, and like, I've heard a lot of good things about Agatha Christie and her writing. I wish I had started with something else, though, because this one I didn't love. It was a 3-star. It was a murder mystery about a child who gets murdered at a Halloween party, and the main character is trying to solve it. It just felt really slow and boring. I like more fast-paced, gory mysteries, and this wasn't that. But I want to read something else by Agatha Christie to give her another chance because I know she's a good writer. According to everyone else, at least. Maybe she's not for me, but like, I feel like this one was definitely not her best, and I feel like I should have started with something else. But like, it's not a bad book though. It's just not for me. If you want more like relaxed, slow mystery, I'd recommend this. And then I read Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, which this book ripped my heart out. It was so sad, but I loved it so much. It was 5 stars. It's about a girl named Kaya who she has just about the worst life ever. Everyone abandons her, and the townsfolk judge her and call her names. And since she's been abandoned, she basically has to teach herself how to survive in the wilderness. Like, if you're a naturey person, I think you'd like this because Kaya really appreciates the outdoors. And like, I'm not even outdoorsy myself, but I saw the beauty in it with how she appreciated it and how she described it. And I'm describing this bad. I'm not even getting into like the heart of the story, really. This is also a mystery. Like, it's all in dual timelines, and we get the past to see how Kaya was raised. Well, how she raised herself, basically. And then the present and like the murder investigation. And then like near the end, it all comes together. And I got so attached to Kaya, the main character. Like, I just wanted to protect her. She could not catch a break, and I just wanted to hug her. Like, if you're looking for a sad read, I definitely recommend this. And there is romance in here. It's between Tate and Kaya, and their relationship was so pure and so wholesome. I really liked it. It was so cute. But Tate does do something during these college years that really pissed me off, but overall, I love them together. And then Dark Academia, I again read this just for vibes, for October vibes. I read The Secret History by Dawn Dark, because this is like the Dark Academia book, according to everyone. And guys, I'm sorry, but I didn't love this. I know this is like widely acclaimed and respected, but I didn't like it. Like, I didn't think it was a bad book. I don't think it's a bad book at all. The writing style was just so not for me. Like, it was very wordy and very slow. Like, something that could be said in one sentence would stretch on for 4 pages. And I didn't mind it too much at first. I was like, okay, that's okay. But after page 200, I became very annoyed, and I just wanted to move on from the book. So it was a 3-star. I don't think it's a bad book, though. I would still probably recommend it if you're looking for Dark Academia and if you don't mind like slower writing. But yeah, just not for me. 3 stars. So that's the end of this video. That was the last book I read. So also sorry my voice sounds like this and I keep sniffing. Again. I'm sick, if you can't tell. So hopefully my voice will sound better in the next one. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Goodbye. See you in the next one.